Yeah. It's your boy Champ, and the Champ is here. This is the Champ is Here show. It's your boy Champ.
What's up, guys? It's Mr. Longchamp. We're in the building.
Okay, so what do you think about the Westbrook Harden duo back together again? How do you feel about that?
It's going to be interesting. I don't necessarily know if this is going to be the team to do it for Houston. Westbrook and Chris Paul, two different players, completely.
Facts.
Completely different dynamics now you're going to have on this team.
Facts.
I feel like Chris Paul is that floor general. He's a great leader. You know what I mean? He could definitely lead that team, lead any team to a championship. At the same time, he was getting a little bit old. So this could be a little bit of a trade up.
Yeah, because Chris Paul, unfortunately can't stay healthy, so he's just as good as a bum. You know what I'm saying? So
Damn.
Nah, that's the fact. Because think about it. I'm not saying Chris Paul is a bum, but what I'm saying is if you can't lead your team to a championship because of injury, that's like I said. You have different types of intelligence. You have people who are intellectually intelligent, socially intelligent, physically intelligent. You know what I'm saying to you? So for me, he doesn't have physically the capacity to endure a whole season. You know what I mean? To take his team.
Depends. I think it depends on depends on the roster you have, and depending on how much you're gonna have to rely on him. And being that, like if we go back to the season before this year, where I felt like Houston probably had the best shot. Drew and I was just talking about that. They had the Warriors like on the brink of elimination, and then Chris Paul got hurt, and that's it. It was a wrap for them.
Well,
Game 7.
I want to stay, on Westbrook and Harden. I'm really excited about that.
Okay.
Because the thing is, it could go really good or go really bad. You know what I mean? Because they have really similar style of play. They like to control the ball. You know what I mean? And this is Harden's team now. This is not OKC where it was Westbrook bringing the ball up majority of the time and Harden coming off the bench. Now it's Harden, this is Harden's team.
Yeah. I mean, you saw glimpses of that possibility when Harden was still at OKC, of him kind of like leading a team, which is part of the reason why he got offered that big ass deal, $80 million on his jump ship too. But it's gonna be interesting. I mean, Westbrook is a fast-paced player, and they're going into a fast-paced system that D'Antoni usually likes to run, that run and gun style. But my issue is defense. Harden don't play no defense, and I don't know if that's just gonna if that's gonna help or hinder Westbrook.
And what about I think I'm more excited to see that duo than
Kawhi and Paul George.
Kawhi and Paul George is quiet to me. They're gonna play, they're gonna do the thing, but there's no excitement behind it.
It's because it's the Clippers.
KD and Kyrie is gonna kind of be interesting for me, but there's really no pizzazz.
Where Brooklyn at?
There's no pizzazz. But I'm really excited about real interesting to see. I think the best fit so far to me is the Anthony Davis and LeBron, because I feel like out of everybody there besides I think that they complement each other more, you know what I'm saying too, because LeBron James is going to be looking for Anthony Davis, because I feel like Anthony Davis had to always, try to lead his team, the best he could. Right. And LeBron James, with that experience, can let him just be a big man, you know what I'm saying too, and be offensive.
I was going to say, before, when you mentioned, Anthony Davis having to lead the team, the one time he probably was going to have that help was when Boogie was there, and then Boogie got hurt. So that was unfortunate. So
I'm hearing they're getting Melo?
I don't know.
I heard they're getting Melo. I heard that. But I don't know if that's old news. But anyway,
Melo hasn't played in forever, so I don't know how good or bad that's going to be.
Nah, he'll be coming off the bench. He'll be coming off the bench, and I think if he comes off the bench, he'll have a good career because he's better. You know what I mean? He's a threat. He's a also offensive player that can shoot, so I think he could attack. But it's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be real interesting to see.
Probably one of the most interesting off seasons I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. And I was watching like a documentary on Jordan and like the mindset that this guy had and all the trash that this guy is talking and he's just getting crazy. I don't know who has that mentality other than Kobe, but it's real interesting to see. But I say that to say this. Today we're going to be talking about humility. Humility is a tough pill for me to swallow sometimes because, I am a A-type personality. Tend to be aggressive, I can be a little intense sometimes. You know what I mean? So I had a real big lesson in humility and understanding its importance. Now that started a business and running a company, just from its inception, just from the thought of it, seeing how difficult these things can be. You know what I mean? Coming in full blown, I'm like, I'm going to start this podcast. I'm just going to come here and just talk and what have you, and just getting the setup and getting all the equipment, just seeing and enjoying the process at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just had a talk with this gentleman and understanding the magnitude of how much responsibility he has. He owns this company and just the staff, getting everyone on board to see his dream through, because it's his dream. So everyone there is not gonna necessarily
see it the same way he does, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The same goals, the same mindset that he's coming in with every day.
Right. So I'm understanding. Like, for example, when Diddy had these guys walk over the bridge, I'm like, damn, these dudes is herbs to walk over the bridge. You know what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
So what he's teaching you right there is humility, because whatever you thought or whoever you thought you were is not who you were. It's not who you are. And the definition for humility is a modest or low view of one's own importance, humbleness. You know what I mean? It's just looking at the bigger picture and saying that I'm a piece of the puzzle and that I'm not the picture itself, because you create more collectively than you can by yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
that's a fact. Being humble can sometimes be, could definitely be a tough pill to swallow, like you were saying earlier.
Yeah. Because at times I can be a little arrogant and a little sure of myself. My boy told me, it's not how you're saying it, just pay attention to the words. Who cares how the person's expressing it? Because sometimes I'm like, yo, who you talking to? I'm like, yo, you're not going to talk to me like that. You know what I mean? You're definitely not going to talk. And sometimes I look, I check myself to make sure. I'm like, I don't look like, I'm a herb or nothing like that. So let me go back to this guy, reevaluate where something went wrong. You know what I mean? And I'm understanding that, to have it change, I got to do something different. I have to have a different approach. You know what I mean? So having this approach now, I'm like, okay, let me take a step back and hear what he has to say. So now there was this very humbling situation for me, and I bear more fruit at the end of it once I put my ego to the side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had an opportunity to network on the other end of it. which was a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I just said to myself, I'm like, you know what? If this is what it takes, then to be successful, then you know what? I'm gonna have to
I was gonna say that kind of goes
take
hand
some
in
more
hand.
pills. And it's real important to build a mastermind. And when you build a mastermind, yes.
You gonna tell me?
Mastermind is when two people are in harmony as far as attitude, your thoughts, and your vibrations. When you're in harmony, what you do is you create an invisible brain in between you two. And what happens is, for example, me and my brother, right now we are communicating and we're collaborating. So now when we're sharing ideas, he can give me an idea that I may have not even thought of or probably would have encountered a year or two from now. Mm-hmm. With the mastermind group, you can achieve more in a year than you can in a lifetime. So, so now, the Champions Here show is growing, so it started me by myself, pitched the idea to my brother, told me the things that he can do that I didn't necessarily have to learn. Now we got Junior on the team, behind the camera.
So keep growing.
It's gonna just keep growing, and as long as you're manifesting and you're dreaming, you can be, do, or have anything you want. So again, humility. It's a tough pill to swallow. Champ is here.